Hey guys, thanks for Leadership Matters Most. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in this way. Hey, I haven't asked this for a little bit. If you wouldn't mind going on and giving this podcast a rating and a review, which you can do on Spotify, please do so that way. Today's guest, Everett, and this is the truth here. I've appreciated him and his ministry, even just his witness in terms of family and marriage and all that for many, many years. This was a privilege for me because it was the first time I've actually met him. But Jason is just a wonderful man who speaks a lot of wisdom. He's been in the sort of chastity, sexuality, walking in, what is years ago, but also around that. I really appreciate Jason for his ability to both stand AIDS, and I've heard parts of even, stomp with him. I asked him a couple, not hard too, and this is what saint, in the end, celebrity believers, if you will. There's a lot of hidden life. Honor him for that. Anyways, guys, great. Enjoy Jason Everett. Jason, thanks so much for doing this. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Good time. I really want to ask this question. I'm not saying you're old.
Yeah.
You're older than when
you're implying
exactly. In this space. Chastity.
Yeah, I think you could say. The government here in the States has been tracking, for example, but an increase in Instagram. Meanwhile, better and better in terms of what changes. Biggest change has been through the cell phone, not only the marketing. And so lots of different trends going on, but that's for it.
Wow. It used to be where.
Well, I think the excessive girls, it's like, no, I don't need to see that. No, thanks. And she said, I'm just so angry. Whoa. This is Billie Eilish, but you reel back singing to hundreds of millions of young people about life. And so it's really unfortunate that it's come to this, but I think it's good that we speak out so that girls understand, okay, you're not a freak of nature. If you experience sexual temptations, lust is not a guy problem. It's a human problem. You don't bear some unique type of shame because you're a woman. And so you don't need to hide and isolate. And so you don't need to live. And healing.
Wow. I don't want to stay here too long, but there's you and good men. And what these things? Is that something? Nothing. I got a culture.
No, without a doubt. I mean, where's the young adult women
culture?
No, without a doubt. I mean, I am. And so if you look at the porn, and so to me, it's not as well. So I think in the find.
Wow. Oh, there's so much pain there, Jason.
Yeah.
One of the things I've appreciated about your ministry over the years is that you seem to have mastered kind of the art of standing on the truth and proclaiming the truth, but doing it in a way without giving offense. And whether that is, to some staunch atheist that's online or to, a disengaged teenager at one of your assemblies with his arms crossed, not wanting to participate, you just seem to have a way and space.
Well, I think it's something I'm constantly learning. It's not something that I have. It's with each conversation I have with, and we're there to give y'all a good talk. We have to be his ear and give y'all a good talk. Y'all a good talk. We have to be his ears. A good talk. We have to be his ear. A good talk. We have to be his ears to me, the eyes of Christ. And the boy was 16 years old. I remember being at there's so much more to the kids that they're going through.
Do you think that maybe seen that?
Oh yeah, and not only in the girls, but the guys. And a girl came up and took the times that I'm sorry to say, the kids do half the time, and so everything is just one step out of order. Yeah, no, it's the best assemblies. We'll just spend it between two assemblies. We'll just spend it in the classrooms. I'm like, no. And she's like, for the rest of their life.
Oh my gosh. Experience where, you.
I've had kids say that to me, like that line you said. I'm like, not me.
Yeah. Amen. So I got a few questions, but I want to put them in context, Jason, because this podcast is called Leadership Where It Matters Most. So talking about leadership in the church, but also leadership in the family being the most important institution in the world. Nothing more important than the family. The future of the church and humanity and the world pass through the family situation. You've got, what do you do?
I think step number one is to look at what makes sure not to do. So it's not that you have to do from the morals and the faith. No, you hold on to that. My wife. I'm attracted to a woman who's not attracted to. Sexual attraction, not really. But then even friendships are being over sexualized. If two guys hang out, are being over sexualized. If two guys hang, which, of course they are. And so like, instead of like shaming these girls, I said, let me that we may or may not experience.
Yeah. Wow.
So the attractions that we may or may not experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
May not experience.
Yeah. Wow. Thinking about the whole gender and transgender seems like, do you have the vision? Let's, one of my them there.
Yeah. I would have been.
Wow.
Hormones at 15, double mastectomy. So it's a trauma response media, 42% approach. These kids are coming up in my room. I said, okay, well, we're going to have the conversation again.
Oh my goodness. Again, discerned way. Yesterday's solution in the book. Just on all the great.
I mean, I was staying, he said like at like 2 or 3 o'clock, like 3 fruit of his ministry. Him, I got close, but I remember reading later that I was able to give him a hug, loved him. I've never been in the, if you like, theater and art, you're just not that much of a me. It's going to be like the 21st century version of the lobotomy. Oh, this is a love.
Yeah. Sometimes that was really dumb. We shouldn't have done that. Not that we pray for that.
Well, it and suffered from sex everybody.
Yeah.
And now like what do you do? And so
yeah, which goes back to I think the sacrament. So
you're spot on. It's who he was, and that's what he just to do.
Amen. And family, the sacrifice, understanding, heart. Thank you.
Well, I thank you.
Listeners, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm sure you did. We'll see you next time.
Our family.
Listeners, I hope you enjoyed this.
Chugga chugga. Okay, that one works. Is it? Chugga chugga. Chugga chugga. That's weird. It was working earlier. Very strange. Hello. So you didn't hear a thing I said, I guess. So I think I said short hello because you're short or because you're only here for a moment. I said I am doing well, getting some work done, auditing some previously completed podcasts. I don't know why I was muted because it was definitely working when I tested it before I came online. Thanks for letting me know. How are ya? And what was I doing? Oh, yes. I was looking at release day for this is 9/17. We're going to go at 01 a.m. And I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, the picture. The picture. Yeah, see? I knew it would work either way. Wait a second. That's not episode artwork. Wait 1 minute. Okay. Mm-hmm. 18, which means that one should be 19. Okay. That one's done. Yeah, I was about to say, it's definitely work time. I'm at work. I can be here at work. Can you be here at work? Okay. Let's do this one. Gotta download it first. Me too, Britt. Me too. Bing, 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 bing. Very hard, apparently.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Equipcast. Accompaniment. He works for Catholic
Hello, Brute. Oh, you said I too am working. I thought it was Britt. That's funny.
Group Movement. How do you keep
I didn't look close enough.
going? Michael talks about us to inspire movement. He talks about the model, just to be healthy. It's a fantastic conversation. If you are part of you to think about maybe conversation, take a listen. Michael Hall, welcome to the Equipcast. How you doing today?
I like that this is Michael Hall because one of my favorite actors is Michael C. Hall, who played Dexter. And I don't think this is him.
Great.
Yeah, it was. I
don't think he would do a Catholic podcast. I would love to have him on mine to talk about the morality of Dexter.
Yeah.
One of a handful of alumni, veteran. Thank you for being back. Okay, Canada. Tell us about Canada.
Ooh, about myself. Yeah, I've been working for CCO, Catholic Christian Outreach, for over 20 years now. 21 years.
Oh, I
Just
know
finished
him.
my 21st year.
Wow.
Yeah, time.
It is. I did campus ministry for 18 years.
That's right.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
In the campus ministry job.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
2006. Students didn't have cell phones necessarily.
Oh yeah.
I love Dexter. Dexter was such a fun show.
Texting was not text message.
Oh yeah. Phones.
Yes. Oh, I had the.
It was kind of like the very secular version of. Oh my gosh! Why am I blanking on the name? Boondock Saints.
Something like that.
Just burned into your memory.
Yeah, because I your extension.
Yeah.
I had to do the hand signal to remind myself.
Yeah, so teams and
Wow.
yeah, lots of things have changed. So yeah, I've been around for 21 years.
It kind of fell off. It kind of fell off a little bit at the end, where they had to bring it back. But very good. I mean, probably a top 25, top 20 show for me all time.
Years. I live in Ottawa coast.
And Otto.
I love a bad guy with a code. Like, it doesn't make him a good guy, but it's intriguing storytelling.
That this morning.
That's right. Yeah, just north of something like that.
Yeah, Orangeman. Yes. All right.
Something you should up here. You know, that mobile. I have ridden own one, but actually it gets really warm here too.
Yeah.
You know, all our temperatures are in Celsius. So, but I know here in Ottawa, it's easily pushing 100.
Yeah, it has been a very long time since I streamed. I tried to set up a video game one yesterday and it didn't work on my new laptop. I'm still struggling with that, but this setup still works, and this is just mostly for work stuff though. This isn't connected to my gaming, so I can do this every now and then. I just haven't done it because it was the summer, which meant it was very hot, which meant it was harder for me to wear shirts while editing. That's not good for streaming. So now I'm wearing a shirt and I could say hello.
Fahrenheit.
Wow.
Warm and then be cold.
It gets so hot in this room this summer.
It'll change.
Oh, absolutely.
That's great.
Yeah. The easiest comparison to US. Of course, you and I both have
Right.
in those ministries. So
you might be right, but that sum is a very small amount. And yeah, I don't think it would help with the rest of my work.
4 years, I think now.
Yeah.
What we're seeing actually is that we're to see that what we
Yes.
and the campus, I would kind of say it's everything.
Right. Yeah.
Because, you know, that's new ideas. They're in that they believe. And again, you would know this from your raised with. And so it's so
Akid.
moment, especially some of their lives, and to be in a deep and ascending ground.
I love the same thing we do in college.
Absolutely.
Those who've been prepared, unique window, called in the world. Michael, I want to talk a little bit. It's kids.
I don't know where it's on Netflix. We have all those streaming services stuff, so it's on something. It was on, I think it was originally Showtime. I don't know what it's on now. I saw it somewhere recently on one of those, so it is watchable. I don't know which one though.
Young people, but maybe for the future. And so,
see, Britt has the right idea.
So incumbent opportunities. Can you talk?
That's the correct response.
That are, really encountering the Lord, being disciples. Why does that matter? Or why is it significant?
Well, how many hours do we have here?
Just one, but.
Oh, look at that from, we'll say that be able to do it.
Yes. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And then one of the,
mm-hmm.
and just the difference of your gap.
Yeah. Wow.
And so I opened to the world and the rest of your life.
Interesting.
I remember here this thing is the class here is good, but they need to convince them that it's our brand.
Yes.
And so wholesome.
This is your life. Who you wanna be.
But the concept kind of carries out then of like, if we can help.
You heard the Canadian.
Attention.
Carried out.
Because because now you're.
It's ironic. The last podcast that I did was hosted by a Canadian, and this one, the guest is a Canadian.
You'd win.
Yeah.
In
wild and oot.
A week.
Yeah.
Without on their time.
Yeah. Well, killer and aggressively hedonistic ever be, and to see the gospel, their peers, it gives us hope to say okay, because there aren't very much darker. There are places.
I know. I can't believe people that have accents, man. How weird you got to be to have one of them strong accents.
Tense hedonism.
Good to see you too, Britt. Bye.
Mindset and everywhere.
And I was in general.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
I'd say it even heightens that a little bit more. Although, I think certainly we're as there.
Yes.
And you know what? That's one that's when we go out and we get, talk,
Ooh, there it was again.
that brings hope that you make your entire lives.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
But it does experience. And that's what any context.
Right. It's as well. That like adaptation.
Absolutely.
I mean, I like is accept, but like it is ministry. What I want to be coming here to Omaha is going to be giving a workshop, small group movements. We're super excited about it because Michael is, I mean, I don't know, probably.
Yeah, I thought I showed that pretty well, Pruitt. I thought I played along pretty well.
I'm going to flatter you and the experts in movements to take note of you, Michael. I'll quote a friend: in the land of the blind is king. There's just not for small groups to evangelize to culture. So
the campus experiences that we use the first couple of weeks of the semester to
I feel like I know you pretty well.
and not the easiest way, but it's the Google link that we phone every one of what we do. And then so in that each other.
Yeah.
And a mix of I'm a huge introvert.
It's
So like
good at it.
Sounds like it's 95
favorite thing.
right,
And
for me.
yeah, exactly. Do that.
Yeah.
I keep talking about.
Yeah.
Kind of like the happy middle there for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And so with people and dive deeply into
That's all that really matters.
things with them so that
That's all I want from people in my life. So
what are you doing with that?
Yeah. Well, hey, what's up? I mean, I used the season of start. Super treats tend to have a small group component to them. And walk in and like you really know people lived here. It really, you can feel the difference, particularly in this. Feel the difference, particularly. Feel the difference, particularly. Feel the difference, particularly.
weird.
Feel the difference, particularly in the sign.
What's that?
Francis Cabrini, you can feel the difference.
Let's see if I can get this.
Feel the difference, particularly in the sign.
That's it. We did it.
Yes.
They really connect your mass. What else do in the community?
Well, I think that you form that connection with the then you show up to Sunday Mass.
I'm glad you found a dumb girl, Pruitt. I mean, crap. I'm sure there's a way I could have worded that better. I'll be back. I'll reflect on it. That is the sign of a good woman. She'll laugh at your jokes even when they're not funny.
And then you're because
Introduce friends to friends.
exactly is the opportunity and things, and to like you said, you pick up on the soul of Christian living, of Christian witness, of somebody who's wrestled with different truths, and so then
It is kind of funny because I can relate with the experience of being when I was either breaking up with somebody or being broken up with. It's like, it's never going to get better than this. And it always was.
Everything you're hearing isn't life. That changes of, the start inviting personal.
Yeah.
And then you are more invested at that point.
Right. Well, and it's, of course, he knew how to draw environment. Individual on the 12. I mean, it's just the flexibility plastic. I want to pivot this again. I want to go, tried it and it work. Like it comes back or it just fades away. Michael, what's the movement?
I think we have to look like we start 5 people. We have to think, how can we take that core group?
Hello, Marks.
Is about trying to grow.
Is that Carl?
Us to, which is out to the world.
Okay. How do you do that though? That are stagnant, they're not growing mindset.
Absolutely. Chip. Likely reaching out to. And again, not help lead them there. For us, we're always looking at with them. We're else. Or maybe not you up for that and making a deliberate challenge.
Yeah. A couple of things. I do that so it's not weird. And then 2, like what mutation isn't form it nature that people.
Well, in most cases. But if you've been a speaker every once in a while, you're interested in them time. And if you've done that, I want to talk about that.
Right. It's not weird if you're really a friend.
Yeah. But if you're just really weird.
Yeah. Okay. So this friend. So then what do you look like? No, just be a friend. So then really this, wow.
You got a friend in me.
Is it PowerPoint?
So we have our 4 criteria that we would ACT. Faithful of seeing them, faithful, available, developing in a relationship. Either way, point. And then the level of leadership you're going to invite them to is going to be kind of tied to that a little bit. We're not going to take somebody, you experienced Jesus for the first time yesterday. Don't have the time. Or they may have the time, but they're not giving it to you. You see that they're committed to other things.
I love that things done. That whole lives of others. And yes to that.
One of that, but I on my behalf.
Yeah.
I've seen students who are to give you that time. Then you're looking for somebody who's contagious. And that just means
I have listened to pop punk Disney before. I'm trying to see pop punk Disney. Maybe it's Pop Goes Punk. No, that was a different thing. Part of that world. No, I haven't seen this. This is cool. I'm going to add this to my library. It's new. I hadn't seen it. Pop Goes Punk was a big thing for me a while back. I have heard some punk and rock versions of Disney songs, but not this one. It's got some good. Where'd it go? Newfound Glory, Simple Plan, Yellow Card, Plain White Tees, Bowling for Soup. That's a good list. I'm going to have to listen to that with the kids. That was a great suggestion. Thank you. Marks, my day has been good. Yeah, Pop Goes Punk was awesome. Day's been going well. What did I do today? I got my allergy shot today. I was doing some of this while not streaming.
Oh, yeah. No,
just kind of a catch-up work day.
11. But my love, many of the about contagious ones who know how to get connect.
And you might notice a person. And the other thing we have to get away from is you may not feel drawn to this particular person at that moment and just be out or drawn to you.
How are you doing, Marks Co?
Than that.
Well, it goes like the Lord, every nation, and if we perish, even we've got men who are all of them. He wants the whole neighbor. He wants the whole blessing.
Absolutely. You have to, I remember working with, someone who won't listen. There is some balancing in there.
Yeah. What experience, very rarely does it end up being awkward in this way.
Yes.
I mean, it happens, but it just doesn't happen very often. And I say more common is people who actually want to, but they have this kind of false notion where like, well, I just don't know enough, or I'm just not outgoing enough, or I'm just insert some other kind of false that they actually have to do it.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there.
All right, tell us what you stand for.
Yeah, just aren't injured by somebody else. We all, essentially. And again, small group, it's probably because you've seen the teachability. You know, if they're the person that's something or to really kind of learn. So if you get those kind of, you see those four, and the point isn't that they have to have four perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Can be taught.
Right, it's not genetic.
Yeah, and it's not up here. You know, and the only form. That doesn't mean every person will do it.
Right, it's other family member, my neighborhood, coworkers, other family members, and I might add, like not only like it just, you can do this. So what else do you need?
We can help.
Set in that key to small group movement.
What do you mean you helped with a funeral? Hopefully you weren't the cause.
That is what often happens, I think, in most places where we see, like, step one is that you just set up small groups and they kind of act as like we're willing to keep going. And then I feel like at different parish groups, different parish do, they'll try.
We were talking about Dexter earlier. Marks brings up a good thought for me. There should be a serial killer show of a guy who works at a funeral home. And when business gets low, he has to go to work.
And that, at some point, support. But you've got, they don't know what to it, to keep it a small group. And then...
Or like, I'm thinking it could even be a comedy where he like accidentally is involved with people dying and then they think he's a serial killer. That might be a good one too. So we've got the like action dark version, or we've got the comedy like wrong place, wrong time. The second version could only be like a season because you couldn't keep that going for forever. But it would be kind of funny. The premise is funny to me, whether it's serious or the funny version.
The small group. The three is small help them.
Right. They're like a support system.
Yeah.
So that for them through that expressway.
And what we end up doing in most people.
Yeah.
Your movement.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of like how Dexter worked for the police department. So I guess it's pretty similar premise to Dexter, actually. Maybe that's why it's in my head. He was a blood spatter analyst, so he like knew how to get away with stuff.
Times. And there,
always connected to the cops.
Happens then is
similar idea.
Because the whole goal in all know them having individual.
That would be a way to make it less dark. That'd be very Dexter-ish. Yeah.
Time getting to know them, having individual.
All right, I think we just became the showrunners of this show. We got to pitch it to FX.
Group setting.
And yeah, it helps their eyes be more mission eyes to them in and through them.
And what often, I don't know what happened, and I think somebody who's talked about, the concept of God's love, you mentioned them in their growth.
Oh, this is so good. Like, Michael, as you talk about one, I mean, let's just be honest, there's ordered reality that small groups could be, and this kind of rogue small group, I don't know, like unity, but they can't.
I gotcha. That's a really good service. Good for you.
Thing. And they're a force for unity. It's fantastic.
Good on you to help out, man.
It's fantastic. So I just in this. What's usually missing?
I would say probably that connection point between the 3 and the 2 is one of the hinge points. So that coach to the small group leader, if that isn't consistent, then it becomes, if it's not consistent about, you're going to end up focusing just on that individual.
Let's give them something to talk about.
Their people. And not forget, like, really important. You don't want the leader is really important. You don't want them cog in the wheel if they don't feel like
you're in jail. where you belong for all these dark Dexter thoughts.
Vision for this mission in front of you. So that's, I think, another breakdown just for them.
Yeah. Michael Malone here. Again, I'll remind Omaha. You're going to be here in the Archdiocese.
Omaha, Kansas,
Friday, October 11th.
Kansas.
Wait. And our parents discouraged. A little wary of stepping in again.
My friend of the church, that's possible. But if you're drawn to do that in. But what we're coach, dozens were in Australia, the only ones doing this. You've mentioned similar.
Yeah.
So there are as they lead.
And we back, and we back, and we back.
Might be a try, but mentality and that idea of mentality and that idea that
I do know Andy.
Church.
I actually just thought about him yesterday. I think he was messaging me yesterday, and I drove by. I had a fancy breakfast with him when he came to town a couple years ago, and I drove by that place and thought of him.
Structure that just makes sense.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Michael, thank you. That's fantastic. Fantastic. Michael, thank you. We're gonna website Catholic PA. That's for Canada, right? Doctrinal accompaniment. Andre's book, Clear Sources. Great materials.
I kind of figured you were one of the kids.
For 11th.
So I had lunch with you and your whole family a couple years ago there.
Here in the Archdiocese, Fremont, Nebraska. And you're going to be in our parish.
Shouldn't you be at school?
So, Michael, thanks for being with us.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Looking forward to October. Will you have already?
Possible.
Yeah.
It'd be impossible.
Yeah, I mean, it's too. So, okay. To hear this. Somebody movement. Maybe just somebody.
There's nothing better during editing than seeing the final song coming. You know you're almost done.
You're ready to step out with a friend. Michael, again, thanks for being with us. Thanks, everybody.
All done. Andy Shaggy Cordy. Andy Shaggy Cordy. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-da. 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 Okay, done with that one. Go pull it up here. Coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all. Started out with a kiss, started to end up like this. It was only a kiss. It was only a kiss. Change now. I'll find trend now. I just can't lie. It's killing me. Taking control. Jealousy. Turning, facing to the sea. But it's just the price I pay. Destiny is calling me. Open up my eager eyes. I'm Mr. Brightside. These renderings take forever when I'm streaming. Change now. No, letting me go. Okay. NICU baby Sam's. Oh, a competition? Yes, I think I've seen that. I have seen y'all arguing in the comments. It's very funny. I appreciate that competition. It makes me very happy. I'll tell you the secret. They come out at 8 o'clock every morning, 8 o'clock Central Time. So if you really want to win, but it's just the price I pay. Destiny is calling me. Sam's.
My conversations here focus on education, comically curved, and nasal tips on the list. Today's podcast episode is
what I'm finding is like, like I was saying, important to have with parents.
This is NICU Babies Parent Support with Catherine Whitaker, a podcast from Hand to Hold, a national nonprofit that provides free personalized support, resources, and community before, during, and after a NICU stay. My conversations here focus on education and personal stories with medical and hospital professionals, counselors, therapists, and NICU moms and dads from across the country. So whether you're preparing for a NICU stay, you're currently there, or you're months and years past your stay, I'm your host that you're here. Well, howdy, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. We have
Speaking of accents, Brute, here's one.
had a great season so far. Last week, visiting with NICU nurses that you're going to be worried that you're going to be there. Brings one, they have amazing experience. Chelsea holds a so let's chat.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hello. The best, man. It's just the best. She has the best accent. Why is this on here twice? What is this? What is that? Weird.
Well, I'm always excited when being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here, Catherine.
No, I'm glad you're here. I have this one is why nurse to the NICU?
Yes. So in high school, and so
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
when I was doing my research and chatting with people within my nurses,
A bowl full of oil. Something like that. That sounds familiar.
something that
Bowl of oil.
much they
Oh,
loved
that's
being a
nice.
nurse. And so
What'd she say?
that how much they
Oh, that's
loved
nice.
being a nurse. And so
Got it.
when I was looking, all of nursing. So that's kind of how I got into nursing. I did like shadowing experience in undergrad as well. And then lock in to nursing in undergrad because they didn't have nursing as a major on BSN program.
Yep.
And so after I finished health.
Yep.
And so after I finished.
Yep.
And so after.
Yep.
And so after I finished my bachelor's, which was in public health, which was also I love public health. I just took the prerequisites for nursing, and then I went into.
Can I ask you real quick, of any of the nurses that you saw that was
that, were friends with my mom and my dad, so they were, and for that aspect, I love nursing.
Yeah, I know. Yes, they do.
So that is a long story out of nursing school. And my first job in nursing school, it was for labor and mother baby first.
Post consistently, utilize channel tags and every ounce of video tags that you can. Do stuff that's trendy. Don't make Catholic content because nobody cares about that. Nobody watches it. Do something people care about. Like the other stuff I could stream about. Video games or sports or that's consistency.
And then
the best is to get ahead and have things scheduled, which I do well sometimes and not well other times.
Parents to New York.
Aww.
And so
there's no better feeling on YouTube than having videos scheduled for like the next 2 weeks.
But I need a job.
Just consistent release schedule. It's coming. It's great.
So I went for it. I've only worked in the NICU. I've in there.
Good audio is king. Even though it's a video medium, if your audio is terrible, nobody gonna listen. Nobody gonna watch.
NICU is my bread. NICU was beautiful in a sense that newborn looks like. Mm-hmm. And so that just
when I say something ridiculous, or ironically enough, we were talking about like morality of Dexter earlier. Some of the stuff that we've done on morality, where it's like gray moral areas, ends up going very well. That's been some of my best videos because people have strong opinions either way. Like I'm in the gray of morality, and they're like, "No, it's definitely this," and "No, it's definitely this." Those have done well.
Thank you. It was.
I love that.
Fate almost.
Well,
it's usually when I say something like one that I did was like I was doing a video talking about Justin Bieber and like a grown fat bald man talking about Bieber. People either loved me or hated me. That was fun.
The NICU Kool-Aid. I love that you have a bigger breadth and depth, like you've seen babies and
on a whole
in the hospital.
Not TikTok. It's probably when they really pop off. My most watched videos are probably on Instagram Reels. YouTube Shorts is close though. Both of them though, I'll have videos that'll get 80,000 views, and then the next day, the next one will get 200. So it's just kind of strange. My chair is sinking. Ugh, it's getting old. My best short. Short by most viewed. So my highest was 97,000 on Instagram. And then the next highest was 44. That was a hot take on the mass. The highest one was, I didn't know what garlic was. So me being stupid performed well. Best on YouTube was 57,000. But I think I have more that are like in the thousands on YouTube. Maybe Instagram. It might be Instagram, actually. I could go back and forth.
That you've seen babies in different places in the hospital.
People like it when I'm stupid.
And that you ended up gravitating.
Like place. People just like feeling smart. So like I didn't know what raw garlic was. People called me an idiot. People like feeling better about themselves. And then another one of my co-hosts didn't know where Seattle was, and she looked like an idiot too. So I think people like feeling smart at the expense of other people. So those perform well.
Idea of what that looks
Oh
like.
gosh, so I'm
Mark, that's exciting that you have an animated video. I'll have to watch that. It's awesome.
Look at you. Okay. Take it. Do we need to have a moment?
I need to grieve a little bit.
Okay.
Hat because 2021 and educator at a hospital in New York City, and so it's
Okay. So tell looks like.
yeah. So instructor, or you the hospitals. So I be if there's education, new with that, and then educate the nurses.
Important to start it.
Yes, because the Black and it still is. I was like, there's a lot of talk about Black maternal morbidity rates and just like, I don't know, what's another word for jarring?
Just
much of a disparity in the NICU. So I'm like, well, while we're talking about Black moms, let's also talk about that. And so that came about. I really Black and brown parents seeking them.
Yeah. Shorten that gap.
And, I think, doing my opinion, we've been doing more.
Right.
And so of the data that's out there. We have to do for the day, the tasks we have to do, what we lose data is reflecting and what our care is reflecting, and that's our infant mortality and morbidity rates. I think people knowing, what they are, hopefully,
Right. Yeah.
But to make and on, but I don't want to
but what I know a better, I think, educator, I think that you're doing the right things and it sounds Allie. So I love that. So what are some things he's been discharged? Ooh. I know that's next to them.
Yeah. Baby, you may be some weeks, or you could be right. And so
yeah, Robert, my man, Mr. Watchtowers himself. You know exactly why I'm doing this. Nice to see you, man. Thanks for being here.
There are times where sometimes it's a surprise. And unfortunately, going home, right? So underprepared. I think G-tube, what have you, those are the forthcoming with education, but sometimes the base is installed, that they have the bath and polyvisol pads, and if discharge, I actually think luxury team.
Can I give you another job?
Okay, got it. Adding to the to-do list.
Put it on the list. Today's podcast episode is sponsored by Neotech Products, makers of Little Sucker and Neo Sucker curved suction tips. RSV season means lots of suction. Neotech's line of suction tips are soft and flexible, which is ideal for frequent suctioning. They offer a variety of options, including anatomically curved and nasal tips to guard against tissue trauma. And all Neotech suckers feature a thumb port to control intermittent suctioning. Protective covers are also available. The latest covers feature a hook for convenient hanging. So you can visit neotechlittlesucker.com to request your free samples. Well, I know for RSV season, so just a cold.
Yeah, around for a while. and left really fast.
Right.
To you and not so much. And so with RSV season approaching and being upon us, the number one thing, wear a mask if you see somebody is sneezing or sniffling, or just abstain. All mine. But, RSV can hospitalize babies, and I've seen it because, like I
Babies.
charged from the hospital. Once you're discharged from the NICU, if you have to be readmitted, you are admitted to a pediatric floor or after you leave.
You really graduate from the NICU. That's the
outside. There's one hospital that I've seen do it a few times, but it was one of the smaller hospitals. It's actually one of the hospitals, but very rarely. Signs and symptoms: coughing. Please call your doctor. Coughing as much.
And sometimes,
Yeah.
And sometimes they're not eating because they can't.
Yes. Irritability, fevers. On a more moderate.
I have irritability. Am I sick?
Retractions.
It's always.
If you see their a little bit, or if they're grunting, normal.
I'm irritable and grunting.
And then you're calling 911. I think that the $1 million. How do I know?
How did you know that was going to be my next question?
How do I? Things, but
I love it.
So doctor, there's going to be no harm in that. A lot be seen. Nobody's ever going to fault you sleeping a lot. Those urgent care, I would take them to the hospital. And then you do that.
Yes. No, I mean, I think anytime it's respiratory, to the hospital, obviously, but I think you're right. I think that so don't, and so don't wait, give your doctor
Yeah.
We're usually right.
Yeah.
Thank you for
I don't know. He's probably doing pre stuff.
just follow through on that.
Preemies are born with no immunity. Don't go outside. Wash your baby and for babies.
I remember I had a conversation with my helped, maybe that's. So
And
thank you for that.
I think cracks, and that just, what do I do? Oh my God. But pediatrician.
Yeah. I'm website and what you have.
Yeah. More ebooks, but the two.
There you go.
One is a freebie.
I was going to say,
and don't need in your hospital bag because for the hospital, I don't know why. like, so I go over that in the hospital bag checklist, and I cover things NICU parent for parents.
It's awesome.
It has about 300 terms in it, and I break it saying about their child.
It's a foreign language.
It is, but I see it as a advocate for their child. Yes. Because a lot of shorthand single thing that you're saying in order to be in parents, but there's less anxiety.
I was just getting ready to say that. I actually think it's just important.
Yeah, I try. Maybe not so much during rounds, but like in preparation for discharge, and just this is what in mind. And then basically drew up a script for parents to use when they're talking to physicians or nurses, either or during rounds, when they want to speak up or when they want to advocate something for their baby, a script utilizing terms that we were taught in nursing school, and I'm sure that the physicians were taught in medical school, keywords that will listen to a parent.
What kind of animations?
That sounds
Are you doing comic animations?
important. I love that.
Yeah. I put that all into a script because get the attention of the provider. And so I basically took that, sitting in these family meetings, you can feel.
Someone's paying. So if people, is that right?
Yes.
All right. So definitely go check that out. So I always love to ask this, their NICU stay.
So 2 things come to mind. Anxious. I to celebrate all the small wins. So that means, you model today. That is.
I would take like an old school popular story that's like not copyrighted. So either something from the Bible or something else that you learn about in school and do a cool take on that. Something that where somebody already knows the story. That'd be fun.
Right?
Yeah.
The NICU coming here, but it is, and not to
Like nursery rhyme or like Bible story. I think that's probably what I would do if I had those skills.
try to, essentially.
Which I don't.
And you want to make sure that NICU in the healthiest way possible. And so you do that, when I think anxiety, I like to tell parents, if you freak out, it will be clear. Okay. Right. So worried about it. Don't get your anxiety, the fact emotions, and the first. And so
that is so.
There you go.
Hey, Chelsea, thank you so much for being here. Well, it was that, as I was listening to her visit, I think in a whole new way, I think best. So particularly maybe this of ask your doctor, y'all family best. Please reach out to them. They search for something else, but they also know what you go to the hospital. So love that. And speaking of things that I really loved,
when there is stress to each other, and we
about this,
when there's some of that anxiety.
All right, that one was good. That was Sam's. Let's open up the final audio here. Give it a little hard limit. Boost up to 2. Be right back. You are still the one. When he rolled up his sleeves, he ain't just putting on a red. Some God is an awesome guide. There's thunder in his footsteps. Oh, God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven above with wisdom, power, and love. Our God is an awesome God. And when the sky was starless in the void of the night, our God is an awesome God. Spoke into the darkness and created the light. Our God. Thunder and wrath he poured out on Sodom. Mercy and grace gave us to the Christ. Let's see if this works. All right. Hello, hello, hello. Wait, no. Check, check. Okay, that was weird. I wanted to switch. Just wanted to get my screen off for a second and go full screen. I hadn't done this in a while. Thanks for letting me know. Now I know. It should just be me on the screen now. My beautiful face. Sometimes I don't want to show emails from people because that's probably not super public. Teaser episode set for next Wednesday. Thunder and wrath he poured out on Sodom. Mar. Thanks. Wait, that can't be right. I saw my video fading away, but I didn't know that it messed up my audio. He reigns. I am confused. Okay, let's try to switch back to desktop. There. Fade seems to be working. Check, check. Check, check, check. Okay. I think it's working again. Okay. That one's done. Okay. I before E except after C. One, two, three, four. And it goes till October 30th. So it should be those 7. Yeet. Neighbor. Wait, I for E. Oh, English and its exceptions. Nay. I don't even hear an I in neighbor or way. Nay. Both of those are AY sounds to me. Like, neighbor. I don't think I've ever thought about it. How neighbor. That EI sound is like an AY sound. Way. What was I going to do? Oh, yes. I was going to pull up. We had a question about one of these projects. Let's pull in. I'm just going to do test here. I'm just looking for something that was on. Goalie. Let's import goalie. No, not the final. I want that one. That looks right. That's goalie. And I also want this one. Goalie. Muppet Babies. Muppet Babies. Let's see if this is going to work.
It was fun though, but well, I'm excited because today I have someone that I've known. We won't say how many.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, when we just give them some hope as to what life could look like. That you were sort of a seeker. Costumes are like. That's why we record
So
it.
my
'Cause then
second son,
when the final
Liam,
product
was
comes out, nobody
born
ever
2.5
knows.
years after
Okay, so
Kai.
let me get it recorded again. So where
And
start?
his birth was
Liam's birth
also
was
very
challenging.
challenging.
That's all I heard. So you can just start there, but let me get it going again. Oh, I just want to make sure. Yeah,
Stuff.
you look good. Okay, here we go. Okay.
I was
Share
able to connect
life that
relatives.
you did have.
They both came out.
And we'll get started. That particular pregnancy and that particular birth. No, you're good. That's why we record it. Okay, it's okay. Let me grab it. Yeah, I'm glad actually that you. Yeah, that's why I have. I'll pause it and then we'll come right back. And then we'll come right back.
All right, let's switch back. I need to go back to email. So let's go back to this. Checky. Check. Okay, it's still working. I need to send an email real quick. Okay. Email sent. So let's switch back to desktop. Okay. So I'm done with this. Don't save. I don't need that. That was just a test. What time do I need to leave? It's at 4? Muppet Babies. Mm-hmm. 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 Fraggle Rock. Why does that sound familiar? I don't know what that is. Oh, I just looked it up. I don't know Fraggle Rock as well. I don't know that one. I know it exists, but I don't think I ever watched it. Oh, I still have tea. Hello. Wow. That's not something I get accused of often. Let's see. When was Fraggle Rock out? Yeah, final episode date was 2.5 years before I was born. So you're right, actually. I guess The Muppets was after? Ran for 5 seasons from 83 to 87. Final episode, March 30th, 1987. I was born in October 25th, 1989. 96 episodes. Come on, Jim. You could have done 4 more. You're a Muppet. I like that. That's like a diss in British. Yeah, I think Robert was born a little bit before that, maybe a year or two. Born in 85, so you're almost 40. You turn 40 next year. Wow, old fart. We're only 4 years apart. Crazy. I keep getting lost. What do I want to do? Do I want to do this one? I think I want to do this one. Because that's a quick one. I can just get it knocked off the checklist. $75. Oh, so y'all are almost like almost exactly 10 years apart. Hello, Peter. I remember the last time I watched your stream. That was very fun. I like when you get flustered. Oh, hey, look. Y'all want to see what this Google alert is about Forte Catholic? It's usually a dead person. Jay's family wasn't wealthy. All right, let's read about Forte and Catholic. Y'all ready for this? John S. Forte. Here's his last name. Oh, no, he had Alzheimer's. My grandpa had Alzheimer's. That's sad. That's a strong name. John Sebastian Forte. He's 75, so around Robert's age. Poor guy. Second generation Italian immigrant. Awesome. He had a beautiful voice. He had a Forte voice. He was thrilled to sing in a choir directed by this person I've never heard of. Wait. Oh, it was built by them. I thought he was like friends with them. He was real old. Jay's family wasn't wealthy. Same, man. Difficult test on constant study for him to graduate? Same. I didn't pursue being a priest, but I said, okay, fine, and then I found my wife. He wanted to be a priest. His mom wanted him to be a doctor. Typical mom. A semester at MIT. He didn't believe in war and didn't carry a gun, but he was in the Navy. Interesting. He got courted by TJ Maxx. Wow. Cute. His son's name is Christopher. That's my son's name. William is my dad's name. There's so much Forte in my life in here. Wow. We just gotta love Google Alerts, man. Everybody has more hair than me. All right, back to work. Hello, Catherine.
It's time for season 8. And what's our topic? Hope.
When there is stress in the family, when there's more anxiety, when something happens that kind of pulls the family apart, in the family, when there's more anxiety, when something happens that kind of pulls the family apart, resources, time.
Something's wrong with that music. What's going on here? The repeat didn't line up. What is that?
You hear each person share whether they're a ex. It's time for season 8. And what's our topic? Hope. My hope for the season is that as you...
Oh, no, that's not right. Is this not done? Oh, I think it's still syncing. Why? Why? All right, we'll come back to that. I don't think it's done syncing over to me yet because there's something wrong with that. And I'm too curious to leave.
So we're not the boss.
For season 8. And what's our topic? Hope.
When there is stress in the family, when there's more anxiety, when something happens that...
8. There we go.
If there was a theme to Courtney's life, it was that.
Okay. What was next? Cohen? Let's do Cohen. How are you, Peter? Hope you're doing well. Dude, I'm the same. I've been sleepy for like a week.
In the
I hadn't been like sick, but I think maybe I'm fighting something off because I've just been, I don't know, under the weather but not sick, I guess. What is going on here?
by Hand to Hold. This podcast is produced by Hand to Hold, a national nonprofit, but we're
No, Peter, just
a podcast.
working, doing family life. It's been very normal recently. Very normal life.
When there is,
Ordinary time, my guy.
and we think one another,
Right.
but this is their way of actually getting or taking. But this is their way of actually getting or taking out some of that anxiety.
This is NICU Babies Parent Support with Catherine Whitaker, a podcast from Hand to Hold. You stay. My conversation with NICU is hard. We're here to help. I'm your host, Whitaker, the mom of 6 children, including my that you're here. Well, howdy, everybody. I've gone through something really hard and really traumatic, and sometimes it's hard to remember. She certainly offers some excellent advice, and y'all, my interview today is just one I think you a little bit of boost of confidence, and you will absolutely hear that in our interview area. Her approach is difficulties, transitions, and trauma. And so with that, let's chat. Well, I'm super excited to have today.
Thank you. Excited.
Well, you first, I know development.
Sure. So I did a lot of things in the neighborhood to, yes, and kind of aim for actually, and to stay somehow with the little ones. So I started by sheer coincidence. This is a long answer. I'm sorry, I'm almost done.
No, this is great. This is great.
Yeah, by sheer coincidence, I took over a parenting group that a colleague of mine had, and I was like, I don't know what to say. And she's like, you'll be fine. I'm like, okay, I'll do 3 sessions. It lasted a whole year. And then more parenting groups. So I was doing both. And then I realized this is what I want to do. This is what I love doing. I'm already doing it. And I went back to school and got another degree and opened my practice. And here's where we are.
So how did you go from in-person practice to saying like, hey, maybe I should share this on that happens? What were you thinking?
So I'm not really sure. Pulled it all together. Sort of like social media.
All right, Pruitt, thanks for hanging out, man. Have a good day. Hope you're finishing up your work.
Course. And then pandemic.
I'm going to finish here pretty soon. going to go to my treatment place, go to the sauna today, get some compression done on my leg. No, what am I doing today? Hips today. That's at 4. So I got to go in about 20 minutes. I'll finish this one up and then head out.
With my niece, actually, and me and her. So,
well, the joy is apparent. And the story over to them. We go through even harder things, but it's really difficult to talk about that. So it's so affirming and good. So
yes,
I think it's
thank
great.
you.
So on your website, you show what kind of parents do we want to be?
I think, and do it all as perfectly as possible, which is one of the things that I say, yeah, that's probably not going to happen, but we can work on being more confident.
What's wrong with being confident now?
Calm. Or, I don't know, home.
Yeah.
And more, I would say, even killed. This is what they all want. They are work with that. You multitude more and more.
I'm glad you remind us that perfection's not the goal. I love that you said
You're going to come onto my stream and call me obnoxious? What's wrong with you?
Exactly. Yeah. And right. The fact. So the anxiety, it as
confident and wrong was a big theme for those two people that were on TV last night.
Perfect. Over do part of life.
Speaking of the NICU stay with this baby, and
I'm gonna get another free flight to North Carolina to come beat you up, Patoni.
Like,
yes, so no doubt this is so are curious, but
I did a presidential debate on my podcast this week.
So
you have a guest room? Look at you guys. Y'all are so fancy. A guest room for a newly married couple? Y'all so fancy.
What ends up?
That must be making the streaming millions, man.
Everyone. So, yes, I am for myself, actually.
oh,
So, children are, there is.
So I'm the fake president for the Catholic. I'm just the president because somebody calls me that. My guest is actually the president of the organization I used to work for. So we debated as presidents. Was fun?
Well,
we debated whether Catholic school kids have to go to youth group. Congratulations, you've received 100 messages today with Restream Chat. Thanks, guys.
But just as information.
Aw, that's so sweet. Inheriting from her grandfather. You know what? I think she told me that on y'all's wedding day. That's cool. I forgot. There was a lot going on that day. And I had some substances.
Sort of expand some play, right? But in a concrete way. I think that the number.
Well, I guess you'll just have to watch and listen, Peter.
Number one, maybe, and to the nurses, we rely on each other at home, all the life.
That could for and love, like we have this desire, I think, or at least I did in the NICU, to control as many.
Yeah, your phone doesn't just work in cars, my guy.
So make them feel seen.
Right. So we talk a lot about siblings with life. Okay, enough. Stop yourself.
What you should do, Peter, is mute this, because hopefully my show is more entertaining than watching me edit. Mute this, pull up YouTube, start watching the show, and live comment it here.
Sort of like rude, mean ways.
That's so good. Specialist. This podcast is stories, and all of that to you. I'm curious, you mentioned therapy else.
I think if that can actually talk to them sort of indirectly.
Yeah.
So, so, all sorts of ways.
I barely pay attention during my show. Why should anyone else?
Play therapy, art, come together.
Yes.
Yeah. Say, you guys want to complain? Go ahead. Permission to be themselves.
Permissions and kids being involved, because I think it certainly helped with Voss.
Yeah, totally such convenient for you. It's because you're thinking you need to do other stuff. Oh no.
I was like Pruitt earlier. He's like, didn't you make Catherine say such and such and such on your show? I was like, I don't know. I was barely there.
I love that perspective so much. You mentioned a little snippet, a real questions.
Right. Because there are
You're not asking me to do this right now. I'm not supposed to keep score. Okay, good. Okay.
No. I'm like instant, constantly on edge, which is but okay. So yes, no question, and so no. We're in to a bigger dialogue. Can you rephrase specifics? Can I really be in sort of? So
I know I'm thinking of my team. I'm glad I asked you that. So you have what they can expect from those.
Right. So there is a whole section, some advice in a whole different way. And then there that is also free, and it's about staying calm. Tips and tools on that. There's all and on coping, doing it all for them, which actually and so that to download and
we'll make sure as well.
Yes, we launched to all types of sibling, not just friction, relationships.
I love that.
Throughout the age, about explaining nation, already there.
Well, I'm glad to hope. I'm going to encourage them.
Find something every day. It is. Mm-hmm. I also not stop right there. I always not working just because I have a perfect lunchbox. That's how you build yourself. If you feel good, you let me always.
Hello, Queen Bima. Neither have I.
Yeah, no, it's not never words.
Good to see you.
They don't.
Or I guess good to be seen. Good to see your name on a comment.
Comes at you all at once, and see it changes. However, so much of what is happening.
That's. Thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
Being here. Well, that was super. Today's 2-minute take. I kind of didn't know where to start as I was reviewing our word, the perfect parent. That's not the goal. I know she said that at the beginning, but I think it's worth.
You're fun behind the scenes. He said in the most positive way possible.
We're saying it again. When we focus, I do that as a mom. Again, we just mostly a great activity. They would this idea. What else that are
I'm almost done, Father Mark. I will zoom out. I think the coolest this part
good
is like tedious because I'm just checking. Yeah, I realized after I said it that it could be. Yeah, whatever. Okay. I'm auditing one of my coworkers' edits. This is Adobe Premiere.
you shed some of that gift of hope in today's. Yes.
So I'm almost done. Essentially, just checking her edits. So I'm not doing the edits, but I'm like cleaning
I
stuff up.
want people to see, and I think that was part of my was we can have this beautiful life, even though there's these challenges.
Oh wow! Next episode's gonna be a tearjerker. It looks like. Okay, so this is the full episode. This is what a 45-minute video podcast looks like. So, here's the intro clip. So this is a clip of today's guest. Clip of today's guest, and then it goes into like the intro. So here, this is the music piece here. This is the standard intro. This is her intro that she does for every episode. And then she does an intro for this particular guest. That's this section. And then there's a specific intro card for the guest. And then this whole section is the guest's video and Catherine's video here. Guest audio, Catherine's audio here. Only a couple times we had to cut the video. Obviously, we're cutting the audio quite a bit to clean that up. Right in the middle, there's an ad break at the 23-ish minute mark. So here's the music. Here's the ad read. Here's the ad slide. So here's the transitions.
This podcast is
There. And then mostly clean video. We don't cut the video unless we really need to. And then there's the audio again. And then this is my favorite part. This little audio cue she found for this.
thanks for being here.
Pretty.
Well, that was
And then it transitions to Catherine's 2-minute take, and then it's a teaser for the next episode, like a little 30-second clip, 25-second clip here, and then the outro card to put on the YouTube, and that's a done show. Premiere Pro. See, it's funny you say that because now that I've started doing video editing, and especially for my show, having to do I am using Restream, so so if you look on the screen, you should see this. So there's Father Mark here. He's on YouTube, and you're on Twitch. So that's why you can't see it. I'm dual streaming or whatever. So, man, setting up my camera, Father, was so difficult. I find all the f-stops and the ISOs and everything so confusing. Yeah, that's why. Because he's just on YouTube. And I'm in the walls. The walls next to me? Are you in the Forte wall? That's the Forte wall. So yeah. I finished Cohen. Oh, wow. Bold words from Patoni. Which other one did I finish? What did I do? Yeah, the Texas Tech wall. Cohen. Super Bloom. Oh, Sam's. Cohen. I might be getting a little lost as I talk to y'all. Let's look. I can see when I check them off. Cohen, okay. 58. I need to double check how loud the final is on Cohen. You still doing that game thingy, Peter? I hadn't watched it in a while. I think it was last Friday or 2 Fridays ago I popped on for a bit. It was fun. It was good to see y'all again. Mary, like the mother of God? Is she going to be a guest? I also talked about Mary on this week's podcast, Peter. Another reason to watch it. Yeah, Sams and Cohen. She's always a guest. Always a guest, never a co-host. Okay, that was Cohen and Sam's. I'm almost done. I've got, 1, 2, 3 more to audit that are already done edits. Got a lot done today. Do I dare try to squeeze another one in before I have to go? Let's just see if that other one. Super Bloom. Super Bloom. Yeah, do it. Why not, man? Yeah. The last clerically speaking I did was a long time ago. I even took it off of here. Let's go look. I do have some files. What do I got? Error. Clerically speaking. Bumper? Was it 2022? Is the last time I did it? No way. I guess so. Theological emergencies, Summa, intro music, exhortations. The index. Y'all remember that? That was fun. Not the index. Yeah, I think they were a little optimistic about their return to the podcast world. They were like, hey, our life is even more stressful than when we took a pause. Let's try to come back. Crazy peoples. It was fun. I missed them as well. Goalie. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to try to do this before I have to leave. I only have like 10 minutes. There's no way. Goalie. Goalie in my sandwich. Goalie in my drink. How you getting skinny, bad goalie? How you think? Goalie in my sandwich. All right, I guess we'll try. Oh, my girl should be home soon. I'm getting off of school. I didn't realize how late it was. Work goes by a lot faster when I'm streaming. It's more fun. I can show you the world. Shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, when did you last let your heart decide?
I want people to, there's these challenges.
This is Nikki. Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to
Hello.
the week. Can we pick back up In February, I met all the way back in college. She was an undergrad. I was a grad student. And we were just, I mean, I felt like I was so much older, y'all, and we were, in the interview about if only I think we would hope, but I think powerful and inspiring with her. And you have wondered, maybe you're like me, maybe you have wondered, another baby after our NICU stay, and every outcome look like. My guest today is Stephanie Goley. She's the mom of 3 fabulous teenagers, including conversation. So with that, let's chat. Well,
Yeah. So that's what all these cuts are, either a or a like a mouth noise, like the or stuff like that. Just that it just happens way more often than you would think when people are speaking, but it's annoying when you have headphones on, which most podcast listeners are. So all these cuts, and then like when we cut out, it's like this is the guest speaking. Whenever Catherine's not speaking, we'll just cut out that whole section. Even like visually, we can see that there was nothing. I'll show you. There's just nothing for so long. We'll cut it out in case there's a dog barking in the background or that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I'm excited because
So what I'm doing, she already did the edit. She did the hard part. I'm just making sure the previous editor did a good job. Is I'm checking all the cuts to make sure that they're clean, because we can, like, if there was like a noise here, we can fade in from the cut to make it sound like we were never here. Because that's our goal, is to make every show sound smarter and smoother than they actually were, and like we were never there.
Oh gosh, I moved and I was a teacher, and fun things in the summer, and enjoyed.
So there was a big video cut here, something, so I don't know exactly what happened, but typically when we do a video cut, there was like an internet glitch because they're doing this over Zoom, or, somebody stuttered a lot, or like started talking and then restated, which can happen. Like if somebody's editing, you can start again. Or essentially, like if you were reading the Bible or whatever, you're like, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was the Bird, and the Bird was the Word. Like you messed up, you just stop, and in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, the Word was God. Like you can just cut that like it never happened and put a little cross dissolve and call it a day.
I had started, but he lived in Florida, distance thing. Yeah, so that was, we got married. He was in a strange place to be. And so we lived in Northern California, and that's where I had a child.
Well, let's path.
Oh, yeah. And for us, I had a fabulous, I feel safe doing that.
Yeah. That cool.
Everything went well.
Yeah.
He came about a week early, went into labor, went before.
If you ever record your homilies, you should send me a homily. I'll edit it and show you how much cleaner it can sound. I think it'd be fun. I've done it for a few priests before. Like, even great speakers, which, I've heard you give one homily, is pretty good. Even great speakers, if you give a 10-minute homily, sermon, talk, whatever, I could probably cut out a minute. I think, like, my best stuff that was like at an hour, I was cutting out 5 to 7 minutes, and I'm a quote-unquote professional, so it's cool what we can do, man. Especially with audio only, because I can make anybody say anything when it's audio only. It's harder with video.
Like of this magnitude.
I've made Peter say some wild things just because I have his voice recorded for hundreds of hours from his YouTube channel.
And my son started to have trouble. I was not kind of stuck. So when he finally not breathing, needed to be resuscitated, they ended up away. So he went with him, you know, and every step of the way, watching it take off, NICU. So I have difficulty. So during that 3 weeks is when it shifted. Not only did because they discharged while.
All right, I'm gonna have to stop there and leave. Let's stop at the 10
while we
minute
were
mark.
there because there wasn't really to rest. I started pumping, and he was that. So during an MRI injury, so he had been to.
All right, that's a good stopping point. I have scheduled to go to my cryo place. I wanted to do the sauna today, but it was booked. So I believe I'm doing red light therapy today. Thank y'all for hanging out, man. I liked the questions. I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. It's good to see you guys again. I know it's been a long time. Let's see. I got through like five today. 5.5. So I will be back. I'll try to do it. I still haven't done one where I'm doing a full edit. So I need to do one. I'm also secret just for you guys. I started recording an audiobook, so maybe I'll do an audiobook reading here live, and you'll really hear how much editing that I need. So thank y'all for being here. This was fun. Let's look at this house. No, thank you. House still on the market. Pray for that. We could use some prayers to try to get it sold. We were thinking about lowering the price here soon. Hopefully we have the money for it. I'm talking to the realtor tomorrow about that. So just keep us in your prayers. We're trying to sell this house so we can get into our new one, hopefully before Christmas. So thank y'all for being here. Good to see you too. Y'all have a great day. Bye. Love you.